morning. Good morning. You are now tuned in to another edition of It's Too Early for All That. I am your humble host, Jay, filmmaker, animator, and your guide to everything under the sun. I've got coffee in hand, excitement in my heart, and I'm ready to kick the day off with some fresh, hot takes. And I'm joined by none other than my ride or die, Lee. How are you doing today, sir?
Yep.
And we got a very special guest. Mr. Willie Beaman is back for his second episode. How are you doing today, sir?
Nope.
All right. So two guys like that. All right. Let's get into it. News broke today that the show Lanterns has casted Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart in the HBO DC series. Now, what you don't know is Aaron Pierre, he got like a lot of traction off of the Netflix hit film Rebel Ridge. He's light-skinned and is causing a lot of discourse in the black community, as a lot of black people are pissed off that the light-skinned man was casted as the normally dark-skinned Jon Stewart. How does that make you feel? Let's start off with our guest, Willie Beaman. How does that make you feel, sir?
The light skin representation, equal opportunities. I actually looked him up. And the first thing that came up when I typed his name was a white man. And then the next Google search was Aaron Pierce Black. What we talking about?
His name's not Aaron Pierce, it's Aaron Pierre. So that's both
Pierre?
of us.
Okay.
I was waiting to say something.
Okay.
Anywho.
Excuse me. That's very dark-skinned of me. That was very dark-skinned of me.
Actually, his name is... Okay, whatever. All right. I mean, so look. I understand, like, how they want to, like, make everything, like, the correct skin tone. But we talking about a cartoon character. Like, they had an uproar about a black Little Mermaid. And I'm going to be real with you. I have never in my life seen a white girl named Ariel. But I know a lot of black girls named Ariel. Now, how many brothers you know named Jon Stewart?
They're all dark.
All right, here we go. I don't think it matters. If your acting is good, your acting is good. Let me get a good Green Lantern.
Okay. Well, what about you, Lee? What about you, Lee? How are you feeling?
He looks perfect to me. He looks brown enough for me. So I don't. I know he's not dark skinned, but just when I look at him, he looks like he'd be a fucking Green Lantern. He looks like he could be like a good Jon Stewart on screen. He looks like a fucking superhero. He looks.
Got good shoulders. He got good shoulders.
Yeah, he's got like a good face, and it's like it's too late. We can't get fucking. I can't remember his name. I thought he was in the wood. Who am I thinking of? The fucking
Morris Chestnut.
Yes,
no,
thank you.
Morris Chestnut would be an amazing Green Lantern.
That's what I'm talking about. They
Jordan,
took too long for this shit, so Morris Chestnut's too old now. He probably still looks great, but
he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Because they were like, if they were asking me,
I saw fan casting with Tyrese. I mean, I know Tyrese is, but I'm just saying he had the look before he started
Tyrese
trying.
looks like a Green Lantern.
Not to me.
If he was a Green
Maybe it's
Lantern,
I
we
know
know
too
he
much.
would always be late. We know he would always be late. Like, I don't normally put that black trope on people, but he would always be late. He would show up and the world would be destroyed. And he'd be like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so let me read one of the tweets and then let me see if, like, I want to get your opinion, because it kind of changed a few things for me. It says, hi, colorism wins again, and most won't care because everyone likes him and finds him attractive. Jon Stewart is legit my favorite superhero, so this casting is a bummer. Not due to his acting, but I doubt that they're even going to address the elephant in the room. And this guy went on to say that his pops was in the military and was a dark-skinned black man and read the comics when he was in the military and it inspired him. I know you guys say it doesn't make a difference, but does that still not make a difference for representation?
No.
I'm not saying it doesn't make a difference. Did you say something about his nose? What?
Yeah, that brother got a dark-skinned brother nose. He good, man. Let that man do what he want to do. Let him be a Jon Stewart. We just want a black Green Lantern, okay? All right, I'm tired of the superhero being half robot, okay? Give me a full black man with a ring, okay? Because unbeknownst to many, Jon Stewart is the strongest Green Lantern. Stronger than Hal, stronger than
Kyle?
The Toothy guy, stronger than Kyle. He is the epitome of will. He's the superhero when it comes to being Green Lantern. He runs that sector of the universe alone, and nobody messes with him. So I'm like, can we just, like, does it matter? Does it really matter that much?
No. I think people are just real touchy about the heroes. Yeah. I just think people are real touchy about superheroes ever since, Chadwick and Bose and Chadwick and
Is he
I'm just
that
gonna call
light
it
skinned
elephant
though?
out in the room.
Is he
Yeah,
that
man,
light
Pretty light
skinned though?
skinned. He's light
No,
skinned,
he's
bro.
like caramel, like a
He's
brown
not.
paper bag.
He's not yellow.
He's not yellow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
He's
light
fair
skinned to me
skinned.
is like
He's fair skinned.
he's like light skinned to me is like yellow. But I think that's because I grew up in Houston, Texas. So it's light skinned to me is like you got like light skin is light skin because there's light skin, brown skin, and all that.
He looks like a light skinned guy from Louisiana.
I agree. All right, moving on. So the show Velma on HBO Max has been canceled after 2 seasons. I think the second season is still airing. No. Excuse me. It aired in April. Yeah, it's been canceled. So is anybody excited that the series is no longer coming back? What are your thoughts? What's your take on this? Starting with you, Lee. Give it to me.
For me, nothing. I mean, I watched both seasons. It was fine. I did see what everybody was fucking upset about because I took it as what it was, which was its own thing. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't like good, but it wasn't bad either. It was just on in the background. Well, it was just some animated shit. So I don't feel any sort of way about it.
What was it? Why was everybody mad?
They made up reasons. So it was mostly like at the time Mindy Kaling was on everyone's shit list for different reasons for I don't want to speak for that community, but for the Indian community, it felt like, I saw some YouTube video from some chick that was like an influencer saying like Mindy Kaling's not my representation, and it was the video mostly boiled down to why in all of her properties is she constantly trying to just fuck white guys, and it's like, okay. And then anybody else, it just felt like, get this brown bitch off my screen. There was no other thing I could find other than that.
Wow.
It just felt like, racism. It was just like, get this brown bitch off my screen. And then also like, this is fucking woke DEI bullshit. Why are you making Velma brown and all this other stuff? And it's like, if you want, it's like, to me, it was like, who the fuck gives a shit about Scooby-Doo that much? Because like, I didn't hear y'all say anything about it until this happened. And they reiterated it so many fucking times with like Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, Within Our Lifetime, Mystery Incorporated, even when we were younger, like a pup named Scooby-Doo and shit like that. Like there's a bunch of shit. There's no way anyone's watched all of in every iteration of Scooby-Doo. So go watch that shit. And then it's like there's usually shit where they do adult iterations of it anyway. You've seen every iteration of Scooby-Doo and love it? You saw Mystery Incorporated? You saw the thing they did after that? You saw the movies? Yeah. Okay, and you were like
bro.
super in love with them?
I legit watched
Junior's movies and all of them. Yeah.
Bro, I saw all of them, dog.
And I'm just
So you love Scooby-Doo that much?
I love Scooby-Doo like that. Yeah.
Okay,
I
right on.
Scooby-Doo. I legit watched Zombie Island a week and a half ago. Yo, all right, okay, Beaman.
That's when I started getting
Is that not a
good
great film?
Yeah.
Is that not a great? That's a great film. That's a great film.
When they started doing all of them, all those movies from then, I liked all of those. Those are good.
Okay,
that's when I first started getting into
Scooby like that.
Like
I'm not shitting on Scooby. I'm talking about people who are upset about Scooby.
No, I'm just saying. But you said no one fucks with Scooby like that. I was just like,
like,
I don't fuck with Scooby like that.
You've had conversations.
Like
You've had conversations with people about Scooby-Doo.
I don't talk to people about Scooby-Doo.
That's what I'm saying. Like I talk to people. Okay, you watch.
I don't talk to people about Yu-Gi-Oh. That don't mean I don't watch the shit.
I've talked to people about Yu-Gi-Oh. I've talked to people about anime. I've talked to people about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've even spoken about fucking Power Rangers and shit. I've never had a conversation with anybody about fucking Scooby-Doo. Not to say I don't like Scooby-Doo. I've never had that conversation.
Beeman, what's your take on it? I love it. What's your take on it?
I'm gonna just be real. Like all of that, like I don't care about Cindy. I don't care about Cindy. I don't care about any of all of that outside of the world stuff. It was just a trash show to me. It was one of the I couldn't get past like first couple episodes, bro. It was trash. Mindy, whatever. I just couldn't get. It was trash. It was a trash show to me. It was a bad show. At the end of the day, it was a bad show to me. And like I was one of those people. I was like, oh, I can't wait for this. I'm gonna watch it. It was terrible. It was like about as good as Sin City. But keep going.
All right, man.
It was just bad.
My take on it is I agree. I think the show was made to disrupt and create like a new backstory for everyone. But in the meantime, I kind of think that there was probably people in the writers' room that didn't necessarily like or respect the original source material. And then you could kind of tell the disrespect, like the way that they, The way that they did my man Fred, the way that they did his Fred. Yeah, like Fred has never been a guy that was a shitty person. He was always like the honorable person. And he was never mean to Shaggy. He was never mean to Scooby because if you think about it, if they were all in high school, Fred obviously would have been the cool guy, and Shaggy and Scooby obviously would have been the stoners that got straight Fs and would have been outcasts in school. And, what's his name? Never judged them for doing what they do. So it always seemed like a band of outsiders that like to hang out together. And that's what I always kind of admired about the show, because it kind of like had that feeling. And then I think as in high school, we're always so cliquish with the people that we hang out with, and the cool kids, and the nerds or whoever. Everybody hangs out with who they're supposed to hang out with. But it felt like Scooby-Doo always broke that trope. And then it just kind of felt like the cartoon just kind of broke that trope and then just went anti on everything and just tried to go against the grain with trying to break the rules without really respecting the rules in a good way. So that was always my take on it. So there's a new article that broke out, and it's saying that Marvel Studios reportedly dropped Kang not because of Jonathan Majors' issues outside of the studio, but due to low interest in the character. So instead of a recast, they decided to make a bold new choice, bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Dr. Doom to boost excitement for the upcoming Avengers films. What do you think of that news?
That's a lie. That's a lie. Y'all, why you gotta lie to kick it, man? Why you gotta lie to try to kick it, man? We knew what the problem was. Now, hear me out. As a devout comic book fan, Doom is more entertaining than Kang. I would, as a person, I always would say, like, people that are true villains, like if they were real, they would be a problem. Dr. Doom is one of them. Dr. Doom, Lex Luthor, like those people, like, because they like evil. And like Dr. Doom is one of them evil dudes, like, I'ma just stay over here and do evil in this area of evil and don't mess with me, and I won't do evil where y'all doing good. And I don't know how I feel about the Robert Downey Jr. casting. I haven't really thought much into it. I know everybody's like, oh, it's probably gonna be good. It's probably gonna be. And if you ask me right now, like, who I would rather play Dr. Doom, like, I wouldn't have anybody to say. I wouldn't have anybody to say. Nobody talking to you, Lee. So in that sense, like, okay, yeah, I'm a little sad that we don't get Jonathan Majors as Kang. Do I really care? If it was just me and my boys, yeah, I care. Okay. But do I really care? Nah. If my black car was getting took, yeah, I care. But nah, I don't. Like, I mean, I'm down to see some more Robert Downey Jr.
Okay. All right, Lee, how do you feel about this? Do you
remember I'm going to say just off the top of my head.
You need me to tee you up?
No, I know. I remember what we're talking about. Off the top of my head, I would totally, like, for Dr. Doom, I have two in mind. Either Javier Bardem or Mads Mikkelsen. Either one of those two fucking work.
Mads Mikkelsen plays, I know him as Hannibal from the NBC series.
I'm trying to think of what he's been in that I could easily say besides Polar. But I don't think anybody saw Polar. Hannibal, yeah, but I think that's another one, like,
yeah, Hannibal.
Only half of the people you would talk to would know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sort of I was sort of excited to see what they would have done with their whole rollout of the Kang shit, of having him as like the huge the overarching antagonist, but I'm not super upset about it. But I was so interested because Jonathan Majors was doing pretty well with it from everything I saw from the Loki shit and in the Ant-Man, what was it, Quantumania or whatever. He was killing it.
Yeah.
But then he had to throw some white broad into the back of a car, and the rest is what it is. So, I mean, like, and I get why Marvel said that. They can't just come out and say, like, well, we just can't have our actors throwing white broads in the back in the cars, no matter what they were doing. Okay? Fucking up their fingers and such. All right? We had to call RJJ. What the fuck's his name? Robert RDJ. Had to call in a fucking favor. Get him back in.
Clean now, man.
Yeah. Man. You know? We did that. Buddy. We restructured that whole fucking image. We got that quote up. All right? He owes us a favor. Bring him back in. But yeah, no, that's my whole fucking thing. Yeah.
Man, honestly, my take on it is I think this is like revisionist history because the hype was up after the season finale on Loki, and people were really excited for Kang. But like you said, he put a woman in the backseat of a car. And the rest is history. They just literally wiped him and all his variants out of the goddamn Megaverse. But don't try and play me like my stuff wasn't hot. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's the NFL, dude. The standards in the NFL and film are totally different. You cannot conflate the two. Yeah, them NFL players be beating their wife up on Saturday and be running for the game-winning touchdown Sunday. So
I saw a woman get knocked out in an elevator, and he was still playing the next day. I saw
he came to say, "Hey, next
the
season
same
he
day
broke records."
Yeah, I saw a fucking player throw, and this is crazy. I saw him throw a white broad through a television set. I'm not even fucking kidding. In front of their child.
The linebacker in front of the daughter.
In front of the daughter.
And he had the kid right here, and he mushed her into the TV. I ain't never seen no shit like it. I said, man.
You would say, yeah, you'd be like, oh man, this guy's career is over. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
Is it?
I don't know.
Vilify.
But I saw that shit.
Adrian Peterson for whooping his child.
You know what? That's even crazier.
He's talking. Yeah.
No, that's even crazier. I saw him do that shit, and I don't even know his name. If this was a movie star, I would you know what I mean? If I saw someone do some scandalous shit like that, they would force me to know his fucking name. That would have been going each and every fucking time. They would have been chirping his name for fucking months on end. That's how crazy, that's how protected the NFL is, I guess, or how much that shit just happens. Yep. You could just throw a broad through a television.
The NFL is.
And it's just we're going to get it right.
Are, though.
Yeah,
that's how protected athletes are, though. Athletes in general. They're really protected. They're really insulated.
But I still remember, I don't know his name, but I still remember that guy that beat up Christy Mack. But then again, that's not even fair to bring up because I remember that I just know about it because it was Christy Mack.
That's wild, bro. I legit met War Machine. No. I met
War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine. I met War Machine and Christy Mack.
Yeah, the MMA guy.
I met them in San Diego probably about...
Pre or post?
Pre. Hell, pre. Okay. Come on, bro.
Okay.
They were together. And I was like...
My bad, that was a crazy question. Pre or post is a crazy question, my bad.
Nah, but I was like, I knew who War Machine was from MMA, so I was more excited that it was War Machine, and my brother was more excited it was Christy Mack. But I didn't even notice her until they walked away. And he was like, yo, that's Christy Mack. And he was literally with his girlfriend at the time. And I'm like, Christy Mack? I'm like, yo, who's Christy Mack? He's like, the porn star. And I'm like, and he's like, the big knock, come on, man. And I was like, and then he showed me, I was like, oh, I missed it. But I was more hyped on War Machine because the nigga was so crazy. I mean, he's in San Diego at least, they know of a nigga, they tell you stories about this guy before he did all that. He was infamous for beating up security guards around, they called the nigga War Machine. I mean, he legally changed his name to War Machine. So, I mean, I don't know why it surprises someone that he snapped. I'm just saying that he legally
it surprises someone that he snapped on a woman like that.
Snapped. He's literally known for breaking, bouncers' legs.
Yeah.
When he walks up, they just let him in. They don't even argue with him no more because he will go and grab your leg and break it.
All right, Doug, you got it.
Who wants to break the bouncer's leg? But now the guys
name War Machine.
Motherfucking name War Machine, exactly. Yeah. Good job, dude. Have fun in prison. Piece of shit.
Yeah. It's just don't want to mess with John. I'm still playing this job. Yo, he fight people.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday on Wednesday's episode, we talked about Joe Budden coming out and saying he has a better mixtape discography than Lil Wayne. I put on Twitter, name one Joe Budden mixtape with a question mark. I have 87 likes. 3,000 people have seen it. Only one person was able to answer. So that should go to tell you that.
Oh, it's bad.
Do you think anybody that listens to Joe Budden mixtapes would be on Twitter like that?
I'm just saying. I just said name a mixtape. You could have Googled it and lied to me that you knew
Man, they wouldn't have done that shit the first time.
You could have Googled it.
It's crazy to me that it sounds like I'm defending Joe Budden. It's crazy that it sounds like I'm defending Joe Budden, but I still just want an actual fucking answer. Because to me, it's Wayne.
I was legit asking. Okay, I was just legit asking. So we brought Beaman on the show to give his take on it because he is very passionate about Lil Wayne and Gucci Man and Future mixtapes. So, what is your take on the discourse between Joe Budden and Lil Wayne?
Two things I know in life. Do LS swap, know my beard look nice, and I know Lil Wayne mixtape. All right? I am here to let y'all know I have never heard a Joe Budden mixtape in my life. And I am going to give you 5 rappers right now with a better mixtape discography than Joe Budden. Mike Posner.
Craziness.
Riff Raff. Lil B the Bass God. Asher Roth.
I do like Sear
Me.
Frog.
I got 5 songs I recorded in college. That's 4 more songs better than Joe Budden got.
Hold on, this is bullshit. Hold on. Fuck this. Fuck this. What the fuck? It's so fucking biased. There's no one on the side of Joe Budden for this. There's no one that can actually talk about this.
You do it then.
I don't have anything. I would be Wayne, but I need somebody on the other end to actually argue for Joe Budden.
All right, hold on. Name a Joe Budden song other than Pump It Up.
I don't have any. That's my point. We need
Lack of
somebody
an
else.
argument is no argument, my brother.
None of
And
us
I
are
will
qualified.
reiterate,
None of
4
us are
those
qualified
5
for Joe
rappers-
Budden.
4 of those 5 rappers have a better mixtape discography.
Have you listened to any Joe Budden mixtapes?
I want to.
That's my point. We can't talk about this. We need whoever, all 10 of these niggas that listen to the Joe Budden mixtapes
If Pump
to
It Up-
come in and say like y'all don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. Mood music 1 through 4 is the shit. Whoever says that, I want to listen to.
French
Okay.
Montana.
Okay, to touch on what you just said, right? The mood musics 1 through 4. I always thought those were just like songs, like you know how Kendrick has The Heart. I thought it was a song series. I didn't know they were mixtapes.
I don't know
Because
because
the
I've
mood
never
music-
listened to them.
I've listened to them. I've listened to the mood musics, and they're always about something really personal that he goes through, and it's always like something really personal and important. Like one of them is about a girl having an abortion or something, and like the chick he argues with, I think he punched her in the stomach, some crazy shit. I think he talks about it on the song, if I'm not mistaken. But I listened to the song over 7 years ago, so my memory is wonky on it. Don't quote me.
At least
Yeah.
down on a hill of trash when it comes.
I'm
to
not
that.
dying on his hill. I'm not dying on his hill.
You down
I
on
thought
a
they
hill
were
of
songs. I
trash.
didn't know they were mixtapes. So if someone had put a gun to my head and said, name another song other than Pump It Up that Joe Budden recorded prior to today, I would have said, isn't there like some kind of series of songs that he did? And he would have said they were mixtapes, nigga. And then he would have pulled the trigger. So I'm just saying, I'm not the guy to talk about Joe Budden.
Yeah, I'm saying
You know,
we can't shit on Joe Budden because we haven't listened to Joe Budden properly. We need someone for this to be an actual argument. We need, or a debate, whatever the fuck it's gonna be. We need someone who's actually listened to Joe Budden shit. Because I'm just gonna say Wayne, because I've only ever listened to Wayne.
Bro, I've been on Twitter, man. No one listens to him.
Man,
these
them
are
niggas
like-
will
this
say
is like-
anything about Joe Budden. They think that shit's
Pull up
funny.
Joe
I
Budden
think that shit's
Spotify,
funny.
Numbers right now. What's
Say
Joe
that again?
Budden's Spotify numbers?
Gives a fuck.
I know.
It's not my point.
Yeah, mixtapes aren't even on Spotify, so you can't really falsify that.
I need whoever listened to
then you
No
did-
Comment. Anybody listen to
And
No
you
Comment?
said-
Anybody out there listen
you
to A Loose Quarter? Anybody out there listen to Rage in the Machine? Anybody out there listen to Halfway House? Anybody out there listen to Escape Route? Anybody out there listen to No Love Lost? By the
Sound like
way, I
bad
was
horror
wrong. It's
movies.
Mood Music 1 through 3. There is no 4, I think.
These sound like bad horror movies you just listed.
Hey,
The titles.
These are apparently Joe Budden mixtapes from sources across the web. That's what Google's telling me.
Sick to my stomach.
I
If
am too.
told you right now, if I told you right now, does he have anything better than Sorry for the Wait? Could you confidently say maybe?
Who are you talking about?
If I say,
Budden.
does Joe Budden have anything better
Mouse.
than Lil Wayne's Sorry for the Wait? Could you confidently say maybe?
I could say maybe, but I'd be ignorant as fuck. That's my point. I don't know what this nigga's
I'm going
music
in
sounds
blind.
like.
Now you said Moon Music, right?
Mood Music 1 through
Right.
3. Yes, yes, sir. No
Okay, now
comment.
let's just
Escape
say
Route.
one is the best one. If I were to say, hey, you think Lil Wayne got something better than Moon Music 1? Could you confidently say maybe?
My nigga, how you missing my point? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Find me.
Saying we don't know. This nigga could have been putting out the hottest tracks of whatever the fuck any of these came out, and we would not know.
The reason why I have to disagree with that one, Fulton, the reason
is
why
because people will still be talking about this shit.
Man, if it's hot, people will keep talking about it, bro, and people will not shut the fuck up if the bars are hot. Like, okay, did anybody ever try and put you on game about the whole Griselda guys?
No.
Like, I heard about these Griselda guys in 2013. He was like, man, there's this guy, Hitler Wears Hermes. And I was like, that is the weirdest album title I've ever heard. Hitler Wears. He's like, man, nah, man, you don't know. Them Griselda boys, you don't know how them Buffalo boys get down. And then I heard a Griselda album, and I was like, yo, this is different.
How many people talk about him?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it took a while for them to bubble to the top. It took a long ass time for them to bubble to the top. Don't get me wrong. I think Joe Budden has found his success with and this is another. People tried to come with the narrative. This is on Twitter. People try to come with the narrative that Joe Budden is a casualty of Jay-Z because he saw him as a threat when he took over Def Jam Records and shelved him. So supposedly he's got this really hot unreleased album that was supposed to be the album he released for Pump It Up, and Jay-Z basically ruined his career.
So he's like Jay Electronica.
They're trying to say he's Jay Electronica. Yeah, but I don't.
Pump It Up ain't even that good.
What? Pump It Up?
Pump It Up ain't even that good.
Pump It Up is a fun record, man. You can't disrespect the legacy.
No, but it's like that's
Jersey Shore.
It's a radio record. Like, that don't count.
Yeah, it's a fun song, dude.
No, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. If you were to judge J. Cole or Wale from, let's see, with J. Cole, if you were to judge him from Workout, what the fuck is the name of that song? Workout, right?
Yeah.
If you were to judge him from that, would you just be like, yeah, that nigga's like, he put that out as a radio record? Or if you were to judge Wale off of that one song he had with Lady Gaga.
Those are both really good, like parallel Pump It Ups to their career. So that's a really good.
Yeah, but he don't sound nothing like Middle Child.
You don't know that. I don't know that.
You know why?
If you would have asked,
he suck at rapping. He sucks.
If you would have asked, I guarantee you, if you would have asked Zoomers about Wale, they would say the same shit about him. It's like, that nigga don't even have a song I've ever heard. You gonna say Wale's trash?
Come on, bro, you gonna make me cry, bro.
Come on, bro.
No,
bro. No.
Get out of the
Answer my question. Answer my question. You telling me Wale's trash? Is that what you telling me?
You wading through trash, going to the dumpster.
Is that where Wale is? Is that what you're telling me?
You're gonna listen to me. If you're gonna live on this hill, you're gonna sleep in that shit.
That's a nice saying, but answer my question. You telling me Wale's trash?
I never said that. Wale's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites. But if you ask one of these kids that never listen to his shit, they'd be like, oh, that nigga's trash. He never put out a song that I ever fucking heard.
I wish I could phone a friend right now that was born like before me and be like, hey, what's up on that Joe Budden?
I agree. I think the problem with Joe Budden is that his outside the booth career has outshined his musical talents. And I'm not saying he doesn't have any skills on the mic, because he obviously does if he was in Slaughterhouse. I mean, remember Slaughterhouse? It was like 4 of the guys with the best bars, signed the Shady Records. I mean, you had to be a great rapper to be in the group, because it was literally like bars university. So he wouldn't have been able to make it with Royce da 5'9". But again, his ego destroyed the group. Did you ever see the Instagram live videos?
Yeah, it was like him and Joel Ortiz and all them guys go.
Yeah. And they're like, literally, it's like Royce da 5'9", Crooked Eye, and Joel Ortiz. They all booked the studio for like a month and a half to record an album in Detroit. They all flew to Detroit, and then at the last minute, Joe just said, I'm not going. And he's like, bro, everybody wiped out their schedule, and then they literally, to get him on the phone, because he wouldn't answer the phone, they literally started talking about it on Instagram Live, and the only way to get him to talk about it was on Instagram Live in front of the public. And the guy, Royce, was just like, this is the saddest shit ever, that we have to argue with you. Like, this is a behind-the-doors argument that we can't have behind doors because you refuse to answer your fucking phone. That we have to do this in front of the fans and tell them why we can't do an album. And then, of course, King Gaslighter, Joe Budden that he is, I don't see a problem with that. And then you got like one nigga, he's about to bust a vessel. And he's like cussing him out, talking about, Joe, why are you such a piece of shit? And Joe's like, why there's no need to call me names? You know what I mean? Like, but Joe does this, bro. Like, if you've seen any season of like Love and Hip Hop, there's always a beautiful like Dominican or some woman and she's screaming at him at the top of his lungs. She got the fucking vein busting out of her forehead, and it cuts to Joe, and he always looks like this. What's wrong with you? And then when he asks her that, she gets even madder.
I've seen him
So
do
that's
that.
what he does.
In general, like
That's what he
ever
does on
since
his
Everyday
show.
Struggle onward, anytime something falls apart
Yeah.
business wise, Rory and Mal, all that shit, and he just like gaslights people. Yeah, I've seen that shit.
He gaslight Rory and Mal, the whole thing, the fallout between them. It's like he literally was, I don't even know why they're mad. And then they go and drop an 1.5-hour podcast with receipts about why they hate his fucking guts.
Yeah,
So
I just want to know. But my whole thing is, are his mixtapes
Yeah.
trash? I don't have
Okay.
the patience to find out. No one does. I just want to know.
These
I
yeah.
fucked with you until about 5 minutes ago.
I just want to
If he
know,
was a
This nigga Fulton is cool.
how am I being
Joe
unreasonable?
Budden.
Tell me how I'm being unreasonable.
You're being totally unreasonable.
Tell me how I'm being
Straw
unreasonable.
man into my argument. My argument was he ain't better than Lil Wayne.
We don't know.
And if you gonna sit here, stop.
I
If
think
you're gonna sit here,
I think
and
we've
say-
all agreed that he doesn't. We can't even name his mixtape, bro.
Yeah,
we
I had to
all
look it up.
agree that Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. I would say that, but I'm saying I'm not qualified to say that. I'm just saying I prefer Wade, but that comes from a place of ignorance. I'm man enough
So
to
you
say it.
honestly, yeah, I understand. It's like I get it, Fulton. I get your point. I get your point, Lee. But like at the end of the day, you can't confidently say that Lil Wayne has a better mixtape discography than Joe Budden, even without hearing Joe Budden. You can't confidently say that.
I can't say that because I am autistic. I need evidence. I need someone to come out that's actually listened
trying
to
to hide
Joe
behind
Budden mixtapes to say,
Hello.
give me a list.
I
Give me a
want to do a
playlist of Joe
Friday
Budden.
episode. I want to do a Friday episode where I find a Joe Budden fan and we bring them on. Like, I'm going to see if I can get me a guest.
Man, you
who's
might
a
as
Joe
well push
Budden
that shit to
fan.
next week because it's gonna take you a week. I'll shit on Joe Budden. I know. My point is,
Make a deal. I'll listen to some Joe Budden music.
I'm not. So I'll let you do
listen
that.
to it and come back. Will you listen to it and come back and give us your findings?
I'll make a deal.
Honest
If I
findings.
I'm gonna try to get through at least 3 songs. If I can get more than 3, I'll keep listening. If I can't get through 3, I'm gonna be like, that shit was trash. Keep going. Okay, have you ever heard 3 songs on a Lil Wayne mixtape? And was like,
No.
this ain't gonna be good.
No, I'm just saying I don't like the way you said that because you already starting from a negative place. You got to give him a fair shake.
Yeah.
No,
We
that shit
need
ain't fair.
someone that's unbiased.
Who's like
You're hella
unbiased? It is just like
Yeah.
because what I need,
This is-
what I
this is
need
a
more than
hung jury
anything,
right here.
what I need more than
This is a
anything
hung
is
jury.
someone to come up and be like, "Yo, Joe Budden, yo, Joey Budden, he's one of the hottest niggas I've ever heard. I was around in like '95. That nigga had the streets on fire. Like I need that dude. I need that guy to come out and be like,
Lee, I gotta
need
say,
that
he's
guy.
in prison.
or
The
dead.
guy that's
But
like,
I need.
he's a prisoner dead.
Or his name is Joe Budden.
All right, guys. So this is the this has been the Friday episode of this is a Thursday episode of It's Too Early for All That. And yeah, we're not releasing a Friday episode. So make it to the weekend, and if you show up to work on time. I don't know what the hell to tell you. Have a good life.